promised, I'm going to show you some of the ugly sides of purchasing properties in the Wayne County auction. My first time bidding was 2014, so I'm going to show you a few properties that I purchased and some of the things that you can expect if you go blind. So this property here was actually one of the first properties that I purchased, and as you can see, the block is beautiful. The home looks good on the outside, but it's fire damaged. There's a lot of fire damaged properties inside of the auction, and upon entering this one, it looked fine, but the more I walked through, the more I saw all of the troubles to come and the drama. I thought about keeping this one, but I actually ended up selling it, so resold it for someone else to fix it. And we're going to go to the next property, which I don't have a front photo of it, but there's a hole in the roof of this one, so it was just too much work for me. This property here was a smaller property. It did need a roof, so the roof had caved in and there was a big hole in the roof, which you can't see. I did replace the roof on this property here, but you know, it needed a lot of work. So a lot of them have a lot of roof damage. The water is coming into the property and just kind of destroying it, but most of them just need a little TLC, tender love and care. So by the end of this video, you'll be able to see some of the updated photos as well. A lot of older homes just need a little love and paint. This was the third property that I purchased in 2014. This is actually one of my favorite properties because it was so ugly walking in with all of the pink, all of the old woods, and it was just dirty and filled with all kind of stuff inside. But I made it pretty, just like I do all the rest of them. So this is one that I actually enjoy putting back together, and this was one of the ones with the better tenants. She's been there since 2015 and hasn't left yet, and she's taking care of the property, so that's always what you want. But most of them will be filled with a bunch of trash, and you just make it beautiful again. This property here was a third one that I purchased in 2014. The walls were extremely dirty. The house just had a horrible smell. The smell was coming from the plumbing. Of course, you'll encounter some bathrooms missing, some kitchens missing, furnace, hot water tank missing. Need some plumbing work done in all of them. But the plumbing in this basement, it drove me crazy for about a year and a half until I correct the problem. But today, this home again is a beautiful home, and it's had a couple families. So this was one of the ones that was renovated. This was just a couple photos just showing the interior after we put it back together. I like to, update the kitchens a little bit if I'm able to. But again, this was my first round, so I redid the bathroom on this one. My first round, and I just always say, never worry about what it looks like. You can fix it. Anything can be fixed. Put a brand new roof on this one. This is again the Asbury Park one. This was the one that had the ceiling, big hole in the ceiling in the living room, but of course I repaired it, repainted it, put brand new carpeting, and painted the kitchen. I didn't pull the kitchen out of this one, but just made it a lovely, nice two-bedroom home. And so this one is still a very nice property, and I only buy properties in nice areas. So this is that big one that I said was one of my favorites. It was so green and peach on the outside. I went in, pulled the carpet out in places that I can keep the wood. I kept it. Just repainted it, added a few updates to this one as well. And it also had this really old kitchen. I could not take the kitchen out. I couldn't afford it. So only do what you can afford in these properties. This one I did add the siding eventually because I just couldn't go with the green and the peach on the outside. So updated the shutters and stuff. And again, this is a very nice block for this one. So again, you will always run into problems, but don't let that deter you. The Wayne County auction is full of properties with lots of problems. Most of them, again, they will need a roof. They will need a lot of cosmetic things like and including the furnace, the hot water tank. They are generally missing. Sometimes you'll be lucky enough to find a property that is occupied, but I have experienced finding a property that was occupied and a tenant did not want to leave, or somebody else claimed they owned the property and they didn't want to leave. So that's another thing that you want to be mindful of when purchasing in the auction. But just do your homework. Drive by these properties, but not only that, if you're able to and nobody's living hand side, I would suggest walking around them, because you want to just try to find out the condition of the property. And sometimes the neighbors will tell you how long that property's been sitting vacant, and they will tell you the issue with it. Neighbors always come out and say, well, nobody lived there for 15 years, and it's because the plumbing is so backed up, or there's bad roots there, or there was a fire there, or there's a gang house there. They will always come out and give you more than enough information, so you'll be able to kind of know if you want to place a bid on that during the auction time. But just don't get super excited and just start bidding on stuff, because as you can see, I purchased fire damaged properties. It is not something that I suggest other people do. Luckily, I was able to sell off one. Another one actually was on a demo list, and so that one got knocked down. So I was able to kind of try to work something out with the city about just returning that land back to them. And I still have some problem properties, but I'm just sitting on them, and hopefully I will be able to make those repairs and get those things done sooner than later. So just trust your instincts, but do your homework, do your homework, do your homework. I have so many more I want to share with you, including this one that is like the main photo. That was my second year purchasing in the Wayne County auction, when I bought another fire damaged house. So I want to share a little bit more with you, and maybe I'll do another video tomorrow about the ones that I purchased on the second go round. So if you have any questions, send me a message, and I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. Or what I also want you to do is just click subscribe to this, and I'll be sharing quite a few property projects that I'm working on, including bidding again in the upcoming auction if there's anything good, but also just some property renovation projects that I'm currently working on. And so if you need any real estate help or any information, I'm always here to help. And be proud to say, Erica is my agent. Have a great day.